My name is Paula Tognarelli. I'm the director of the Griffin Museum of Photography in Winchester, Massachusetts. And I've been involved with the Flash Forward Festival for 4 years. I'm on the advisory committee. And the festival has actually allowed me to do one of my wishes for many years. I've wanted to do faculty exhibition. I brought Gogues 2013 to the festival, and it was very successful and well received. And I hope that we can continue this tradition for as many years as the festival is in Boston. The faculty comes from the New England area. I always try to make it as diverse as I can. I look for how many women faculty do we have, how many men faculty, what's the subject matter, is there a nice bridge between the two? And I really think that we got that this year.
My name is Jaclyn Kain, and I'm a member of the faculty at Simmons College, where I've been teaching for 7 years. I show locally. I'm represented by Gallery Naga on Newbury Street. This is the first time I've been a part of the Flash Forward Festival, and I was very excited to be asked to be in the Gogues show. The pieces I have in the show, which are behind me, are part of a new series I've been working on. They consist of self-portraits, portraits of my mom, and portraits of my daughter.
My name is Cheryl St. I'm an educator. I've been teaching for a very long time. I taught for about a decade at Clark University, and then I took some time off. I had a Guggenheim Fellowship in 2009, and came back to teach at Maine College of Art for about 4 years, and I teach at UNH. The work here is a project called Offshore with Noah, and it's very new. Paula was very gracious to bring it on. It's a body of work for me that looks at data. I'm not a strong sailor in the family. Almost everyone else in my family is. And I've often found that when I'm out sailing, there's a NOAA weather broadcast that comes through the weather radio. It predicts what's going to happen, and it sort of foretells, what you might be experiencing that moment on the water, as well as what's going to happen. And so the work for me is that looking at those islands that you're going by that no one really ever sees, they're way off the coast, and thinking about how they're changing with global warming, with wave patterns, with literally the washing in and washing out of each tide, and how we can't necessarily see that change, and yet it's so fundamental and so profound. And so the work is the beginning of my sort of experimenting and interpreting how I feel about the changing landscape and data. It's been very interesting to do.
I'm Susan Lapides. I'm a photographer and an artist, and I have been a photographer since I was 17 years old. In my earlier career, I was involved in taking photographs for editorial purposes. I've done a total of 35 portraits now of movers and shakers who live or work in Cambridge. Movers and shakers, I see that as people who are visionaries, people who inspire us, people who are moving our society in ways that they have a vision and they work day after day, one step at a time, and slowly they create this change in our society that's monumental. When I was working in a printmaking studio, I did a print on fine art paper on my Epson printer, and I brought it into the studio, and then I used a process called shin collé, where it's a process of embossing the paper and gluing the image to the paper. I wanted to create an image that was soft, that had depth because it's still incredibly sharp and has a lot of detail, and so that it gives a very different impression from an image that's high gloss portrait.